Welcome to Picture and Story. Today we are going to look at a story written by Hans Christian Andersen called Nightingale. This story is an original adaptation from the classic tale. While I tell you this story, I'll be drawing and coloring a picture of a nightingale. You may also draw along with me or also just listen to this classic tale. At the end of the video, there will also be some prompts to help you further explore related themes. The video is suitable for ages 6 upwards. If you would like to draw along with me, you will need black ink or black paint. I am using black calligraphy ink. You'll also need a watercolor, paint, or colored ink set. I am using watercolor. You'll also need a pencil, an eraser, and thick paper that can handle water media such as Bristol paper, heavy cardstock, or watercolor paper. I am using watercolor paper. Also, you'll need a jar of clean water and a clean paper napkin, paper towel, or cloth. During the process, feel free to make this drawing your own by using the colors you like. Okay, let's start. The Nightingale tells a story of a plain little nightingale that lived in the huge gardens of the emperor's palace in China long, long ago. The garden was so large that even the emperor did not know that the nightingale existed. The nightingale sung a sweet, melodious song every evening for all the people who passed through the woods of the palace grounds, from the fishermen to the maids to the highly respected cavaliers. For this beautiful, soothing evening song, the nightingale became well known far and wide. It became so well known that writers and poets from other lands dedicated their writing to it. The emperor only learned of the nightingale when one day he received a book and read about a nightingale with a beautiful voice that lived in his very own garden. This caught him by surprise, and he gave the order that the nightingale should be found and brought to sing for him in the palace that evening. His highest ranking officials searched high and low and asked everyone. No one knew where to find the bird. By chance, they asked a kitchen maid, and she knew because she used to pass through the palace gardens. And she knew because she used to pass through the woods in the evenings to bring supper for her mother, who lived at the end of the palace gardens. Each evening, on her way home, she would stop to rest in the woods and listen to the nightingale's song. She showed the emperor's men the way to go to meet the little bird and invited her to sing at the palace. When they found the bird, she agreed to come because she had so much respect and love for the emperor. When they arrived at the palace, the nightingale sung her best song and everyone fell in love with her. They were a bit surprised though that such a lovely song came from such a plain-looking little grey bird. Despite this, they invited the bird to live in her own golden cage at the palace, and she was allowed to go out twice a day and once at night. The twist, however, was that the nightingale would have to have a silk string tied to her leg whenever she left the palace. With all of this, however, the nightingale stayed with the emperor and sang for him every day. One day, the emperor received a gift from the Emperor of Japan. It was a majestic golden, bejeweled, mechanical nightingale. It sang all kinds of beautiful songs and was also very enchanting to look at. It quickly became a favorite at the palace, as well as with the emperor. The nightingale left the court when the mechanical nightingale began to sing. The people seemed to forget all the dedication the nightingale had shown the emperor, and it was agreed to banish the nightingale from the land. The emperor and the people of the palace enjoyed the songs of the mechanical nightingale for years, all throughout the day, until one day the mechanical bird's gears inside broke as they had become worn down. At this point, they could only wind the bird up once a day. At this time, the emperor grew ill and everyone thought he would pass away by the morning. In the night, death came to visit the emperor, as expected, and at this crucial time, the little nightingale returned and began to sing. Her song charmed death, and he went away and spared the emperor's life. So happy was the emperor when he had regained his strength that he invited the bird once more to live in the palace and stay by his side as his friend. He offered her everything he had. This time, the nightingale declined. She agreed to return freely whenever her love for him moved her to come and sing for him, and out the window she flew. We have now completed our picture and story for today. If you would like to use this story to discuss further with a group or to reflect on the themes on your own, here are some prompts. 1. When the emperor replaced the nightingale with the mechanical nightingale, how do you think she felt? 2. When the nightingale chose to visit the emperor when he was ill, do you think she was being kind, forgiving, loving, loyal? List as many additional words to describe her actions as you can. 3. Just as the nightingale used her singing to comfort the emperor, what talents do you have that can help people to feel better? Example, a nice smile, we have now completed our picture and story for today. Thanks for joining us. Feel free to leave your answers in the comments and remember to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Bye!